Subscribe our Nehra Classes YouTube channel to watch free live training sessions and to avail the membership facilities and additional perks, click the join button. Hello everyone, I Vikas Nehra welcome you all to session number 95 of our ongoing RSCSA version 10 training. And in this session we will talk about the Apache server configuration in RHEL 10. Here we will cover both Apache HTTP and Apache HTTPS server configuration. RHEL 10 uses HTTPD Apache as the default web server. The core service remains HTTPD and the configuration follows the standard Fedora or RHEL style with most settings under these files and directories. So generally, the configuration settings reside in /etc/httpd/conf/httpd.conf. Or in case if you want to create your own configuration file, you can create it under /etc/httpd/conf.d directory having the extension as .conf. So this is my machine which is running on RHEL 10. On this machine, I'm going to configure the Apache HTTP and HTTPS server. Before I show you the configuration, let me tell you that HTTP is not secure and not encrypted, and it uses TCP port 80. Whereas HTTPS, that is the Secured Hypertext Transfer Protocol, it is encrypted and it uses port 443 TCP. So generally, we prefer HTTPS because the communication with this protocol is totally encrypted. But we must know how to configure the HTTP server so that we can further use the SSL certificate to make it secure and encrypted using HTTPS. Okay. So let me show you the steps to configure the Apache HTTP and HTTPS server on RHEL 10. So first of all, we have to install the Apache HTTPD package in our machine, which we can install by running the dnf install command. And you must have the local yum repository configured in your machine in case if you don't have the Red Hat subscription. I already have the Red Hat subscription in this machine, so I can easily install the Apache HTTPD packages from the Red Hat repositories. Look at this. These are the packages which are required for the Apache server configuration. After installing the Apache packages in your machine, you need to start and enable the Apache service, and the service name is HTTPD. It is the daemon service for Apache. We can enable and start the service by running the systemctl enable --now command. This command will start the service and enable the service. Service is active and running and is enabled as well. So it will start automatically if we reboot the machine. After that, we have to make sure that the firewall should allow the client machines to access the Apache server. So we have to either open port number 80 TCP in firewall, or we have to add the HTTP service there. We can add the Apache service, that is the HTTP service, where it uses port number 80 TCP by running the firewall -cmd --permanent -add -service command. So this will add the service in the firewall permanently, and in order to apply the changes, we need to reload the firewall configuration by running the firewall -cmd command. After that, we can verify whether the HTTP service is added there or not. So we can execute firewall -cmd -list -services command or list -all command also. HTTP is showing up there. That means our machine will not block the traffic coming from port number 80. So firewall will allow the communication. Before I proceed further, let me tell you about some important configuration files. This is the main configuration file for Apache. If you want to create your own configuration files, you can create them under /etc/httpd/conf.d directory. Now, one more location is also very crucial, that is /var/www/html. This is the default web root. That means you need to put all the website material in this location. /var/www is the web content root. In case if you want to host multiple websites, you will separately put the material under this location in different directories. For Apache logs, you can check /etc/httpd/logs directory or /var/log/httpd directory. And this is the service file for Apache. Okay. So we have already installed the package. We have already enabled and started the service. We have already added the HTTP service in the firewall. Now we need to check whether our machine is serving as the Apache server or not. So we can check with the help of curl command. Curl localhost will show you the default Apache page. This is the default Apache page. Or if you want to verify the same, you can verify it using the web browser also. So let me show you. I'm going to mention the IP address of my machine here. That is 192.168.229.132, and it should show the Red Hat Enterprise Linux test page. That means our Apache server is working perfectly. Now we can host our own page or website here. So we can simply create index.html file to host a simple web page there. Either you can create it manually using the VI editor, or you can use this command to create the index.html page. Actually, I just created a page with the name as index.html under /var/www/html directory, and this page contains Nehra classes are awesome. This text will now appear on the page which is hosted on this web server. We have to make sure that all the files under /var/www/html are owned by the Apache user. So we can recursively change the ownership for all the files. After making the changes, we can restart the Apache service by running the systemctl restart command, and we are good to go. Now let's check whether the page is available or not. First, we will check it with the help of the command line interface. So curl localhost will show us the text that is present on the page. Now we will use the web browser. Simply refresh this page, and here it will show Nehra classes are awesome in highlighted text, because we mentioned the same there. This is for the highlighted text. Okay. Sometimes we need to use name-based hosting. Name-based hosting means we need to configure virtual host, which we can do with the help of a new configuration file. So let's create a new configuration file under /etc/httpd/conf.d directory, and let me create it with the name as example.conf. So this is the location where we can create our custom configuration files. We are going to create a file with the name as example.conf. Here we will define the details for our Apache server, like which port we want to use, what will be the name of the server, what will be the alias name, what will be the document root location, what will be the error log location. This is the error log file, and what will be the custom log file. And here we will close virtual host. Okay, so this is how we can define the virtual host with the help of the custom configuration file. After that, we will create the directory there under /var/www with the name as example, because same we mentioned there. After that, let's create a page here. Either you can create the page, or if you want to use your own page, you can do that as well. Let me show you. Let me visit nehraclasses.in and let me save this page. You can simply save this page from here, and you can upload this page in that location. Okay. Or if you want to create your own website, you can do that. You can put the entire material here in this location. I'm going to create a simple index.html page which contains it works. Okay. After that, again, we will change the ownership recursively. We will make Apache user the owner and group for all the files which reside under /var/www/example. Now we need to restart the Apache service. This will restart the Apache service. Now we can verify whether we can access this page or not. Showing. If you have an entry there in the etc hosts file, you can access this with the help of the name as well. Let me mention the IP address of my machine, and let me mention here www.example.com. Look. So this is how we can configure the name-based hosting. And same page we can access from the web browser as well. Okay. If you want, you can save this page and you can upload it to the same location. Let me show you that as well. The page has been saved. Now let me go to the where directory, www example, and here let me delete this one. cd, or you can directly delete it, rm where www example index.html. Page is deleted. Now let's go to this location and let's upload the page of our own Nehra Classes website. Where www html, sorry, not HTML, example. This is the page. We can rename this page. mb/www/example.com/nehraclasses.html, and we will change it to /var/www/example index.html. After that, we will change the ownership to Apache user and we will restart the Apache service. Now we will check whether we can access the page or not. Let's refresh this page and here we go. This is how we can configure the name-based hosting. Now, how can you enable HTTPS? Enabling HTTPS on Apache using SSL or TLS. HTTPS requires SSL module enabled TLS certificate, which may be self-signed or from some other vendor like Let's Encrypt, and it uses port number 443. So there are three things which you need to keep in your mind. SSL modules must be enabled. You would require the TLS certificate, which may be self-signed. And third is port 443 opened in firewall. So let's install the SSL module first. We can install it by running the dnf install -y mode_SSL command. This will install the SSL modules. This creates a file under /etc/httpd/conf.d with the name as ssl.conf. So this file is created. Okay. Now we need to either open port 443 TCP in firewall or we can add HTTPS service. So let's add the HTTPS service in the firewall. After that, we can reload the firewall configuration and then we will verify whether the service is showing up there or not. HTTP, HTTPS, both are showing up. Okay. Now we need to create self-signed certificate. So let's create a directory first under /etc/httpd with the name as SSL. And here we will generate the self-signed certificate. To generate the certificate, we need to execute the OpenSSL command. OpenSSL request. This is the type x509 nodes. For how many days you want to create it. RSA key, where you want to put the server key, where you want to put the server CRT file. So all those things you need to define here. After that, it will prompt you for the country name. Write IN for India. For state, you can write the state name as Delhi. Locality name, Delhi. Organization name, Nehra classes. Organization unit name, head office. Common name, you can write localhost, or you can mention the server host name. Email address, nehraclasses@gmail.com. Done. After that, we will configure the HTTPS virtual host. So we need to create another file here in /etc/httpd under conf.d directory, and this time let's create it with the name as ssl_example.conf. And here we will define the details for the virtual host. We are going to use port 443 this time. This is the server name. This is the document root name. SSL engine on. You have to make sure that you mention it in case if you want to use SSL. Then you need to define the SSL certificate file. You need to specify the CRT file location here, which you generated in the previous step. Then you need to specify the path of the certificate key file, which is having the extension as .key. Then you can define the error log file and custom log file. Okay. After that, you need to restart the Apache service. And boom, we are ready to access the page. Curl localhost. It will show us the same page, or we can use the curl command like this: curl https www.example.com. In case of self-signed certificate, it may show you the warning, and that's not an issue. Let me show it with the help of the web browser. Refresh the page. It is currently using port number 80. So this time let's mention HTTPS there. Or you can mention the port number there. It is saying not secured. That is not an issue. You need to click here on advanced and you need to click here on proceed. In case of self-signed certificates, it may show you this warning because browsers nowadays are very smart. In case if you use the self-signed certificate, they will show this warning. That's not an issue. We get the same warning in case of the cockpit web console also. Here, the connection is encrypted because we are using the HTTPS protocol. Or alternatively, you can mention the IP address and the port number as well. Again, you will get the same result. Okay, so there are some security hardening, what can you say, security hardening options that you can use. Like you can hide the Apache version. To hide the version, you need to simply open this httpd.conf file and you need to write here server token prod and server signature off. Just go at the end of this file. And you need to mention these 2 points. Server signature off and server token prod. This will hide Apache version information. You need to use correct SE Linux label. If your files are located outside this /var/www, you have to make sure that the SE Linux context there is httpd_sys_content_t. The same which applies here on this directory. It should be httpd_sys_content_t. Always. For monitoring, you can check the logs. You can check the Apache access logs under /var/log/httpd with the help of access_log file. You can check for the errors with the help of error_log file. httpd_t command you can use to check the syntax. If you are making some changes in the configuration files and you are not sure whether the changes have been implemented or not, you should always execute httpd-t command. It will tell you if there are some errors in the configuration. Or alternatively, you can execute Apache CTL config test. This will show you the same thing. Always make sure that you restart the service after making the changes there. So that's it from my side for this session of Apache web server configuration in RHEL 10. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.